but the effects will take place right away. So you're going to probably need to wait at least a week to see any real performance. I would say a month. I would check it, but I would wait a month just to see, because you want to look at it, I would say, from a 30-day perspective of how things are working out. Okay. So after everything's set up, you're logged in, it'll show just like mine is right here. I'm going to delete that. But it'll have your main website right here. You're going to want to go to View Report. And then this is basically just your dashboard, and it's going to show you just a real brief overview of what your site performance is. As you can see, mine isn't doing too great right now. I haven't been trying to drive a ton of traffic to it. This is pretty much just standing on its own. It can get 50 unique visitors a day. Okay. I should go off this. I don't want to lose you guys. Okay, so this is pretty much just the main part. All of your controls are going to be on the left-hand side over here. The intelligence is a brand new feature. I haven't even really tested it yet, so I'm not going to get into that. But the visitors part is great. One of the better parts of this Google Analytics. It's going to show you a lot of information. Okay. Benchmarking. Let's get into this so I can show you that. Okay, so on this, it'll show you from your visitors how many people visited the site. And that number is a unique number. That means it's 639 different IPs for that time frame. So you can select whatever time frame you want up here. It's going to default, and I think I have it written down, to about 30 days, a month's time. And it's going to go from today's date back 30 days every single day. It'll be like that. So you can set it to however you want. If I went back like 4 months, I was usually getting about 100 to 150 unique visitors per day. So the more traffic you drive to your website, more results you get. That's the visits. Page views. Do anybody know what real page views are? Okay, page view is just somebody, you could go on a website and look at 50 pages, and that's going to go into that number. Okay, so you're not going to really want to look at page views as a real significant source for information. It's going to be a real inflated number, because one person could really look at 1,000 pages in one day. So I wouldn't look to that as like, oh, I got 5,000 pages, I'm doing really good. No, you want the unique visitors. Okay, the average page views, that's a good one. That's going to tell you, how many pages that visitor per visit is visiting. So it's about 7 pages. That's pretty decent. That means they're going around, they're playing on there a couple of minutes at least to find out information. Average time on site. This is going to average the entire time of your website from all different traffic sources, and I'll get into those as well. Right now, 4 minutes. It's not too bad. I get a pretty good amount of time on there. It's usually around 5 minutes. And you'll see as you guys start doing this, times are pretty hard to get. You'll figure it out. Bounce rate. This is something you want to have very, very low. 4% is really good. I think like 45% is normal. So having it this low is really good. Bounce rate basically is you're on a website, you click on a link that takes you to another website. You immediately click back. Okay, that's bouncing because you're bouncing back off that website. So that's a bounce rate. They went to your website, didn't see what they liked, so they immediately bounced off. Okay? Percentage of new visits. Most of us are probably going to have a very high percentage of new visits. 20% have been coming back. That's probably just as good as it's going to get, because a lot of people, fast-paced environment, are looking for new information from 100 different sources in one day. That's just the way it goes in this business. Okay, and that's just a brief overview of that. Get into map overlay. If you have a global business, this is something that you might want to look into, but it's just going to basically show you where all your visitors are coming from. So United States, most of them, 719. Canada, I get 7 visits per month. And then I get some, Russia 1, it's kind of weird, India I get 1. It's kind of funny, but most of your visits are going to be in the United States. At least hopefully, it's where you want your visitors from. Let's see. New versus returning. You can see the percentage of new visitors versus returning visitors. I haven't really found that need a lot of returning visitors. I think having a lot of new visitors is good. Most of the people that do return are people that we've already been working with already, so that's why they're returning. If not, that person's probably already found a new place where to get their information from. So that's just, I think that's just the way it goes in this business. Languages, I think this is just going to tell you what people read. Most of them are going to be English, but you can see some of them. EN, I have no idea what that is. English probably, Espanol, Korean, Japanese, Russian, maybe Zimbabwe. So you can see that, it's going to show you a lot of different stuff.
Japanese is 40?
No, Japanese, no, that's just one. One visit, pages per visit. It'll show you what you want to see. So that one visitor visited 40 pages. He spent 35 minutes on my website, and that was it. So apparently he was interested in what I had to offer.
Who's stealing your content?
That's fine. You know what? Everyone steals content on the web. I already know that. Visitor trending. Check this out. Okay, visits. This will break it down by day. How many visits you're getting per day. These are all going to be unique numbers as well. They're not going to be, somebody visited your website 10 times in one day. They're not going to do that. For most of the stuff analytics is going to go over, it's always going to be unique because you want the individual, not somebody coming back 10 times in one day. Same thing. That was the number of visits. So that was 742 visits compared to my unique was maybe 100 less, so that wasn't too bad. That somebody kept asking. Page views. It'll show you per day how many page views you got. Like I said, this is like an inflated number, so don't really look for it for too much depth on that. Average page views. This is something I would try to keep a look at. You want your page views, I think, pretty high. I would say a good number is probably at least 5. And that's their landing page, that's 1 page, and they've clicked around on 4 other pages. So that's really, they're only 4 pages if you really think about it. So I think 5 is a pretty good number to have. Hopefully by the 5th page, they're already going to your contact form. That's where it should be, anyways. If anything more than that, they're probably trying to find out too much information. So you always want to, when you're making your website, always make it steered towards filling out a contact form, Give them enough information that they feel that they need to leave their information. That's a good way of doing it. Let's see, time on site. And this is just the average, so this could be a little bit of an inflated number as well. Somebody could have been on there for 2 hours, and it's going to, greatly put out that ratio. So look at it, but I would say, be a little conservative with it. 11 minutes, I probably didn't have a real average time of 11 minutes. I would say I probably maybe had 6 or 7. So just look at that. Most of my times are not too bad. Saturdays and Sundays, I don't really do a lot with trying to drive traffic back to my website, so those days always fall. And I don't know how you guys are running your website business, but your times will probably always fall on the weekends. It always seems like the best day for traffic going to your website is Tuesday. I don't know why everyone's working, but Tuesday's like the biggest day. And I've tracked it with a couple of different websites now, and it's the biggest day to hit. Okay. Bounce rate. Mine, so you can see it's pretty big. Saturday, 28%. And most of my stuff is probably from Craigslist, so a lot of them, they click on the ad, it goes to my website, and it's not what they wanted, so they bounce back. It's kind of how it's just going to go. But you want to, like I said, I would say try and keep it under 40%, just as a beginning. I forget where they put like the average, but the average is about 45% to bounce. So anything less than that, you're doing above average, So try to keep it under 40%. Visitor loyalty. Get into this. Okay, this is going to track how many visitors repeatedly came back to your website. Most of them are